Major League Soccer has been around now for nearly 30 years. In its inaugural season, it only had 10 teams, and they played mostly in older NFL and college football stadiums. Once looked at as an afterthought amid the four major sports, the MLS now has 29 teams and 22 soccer-specific stadiums. It's safe to now put the major in Major League Soccer. But let's look at these amazing venues. Today I'm going to critique and rank every MLS stadium. Non-soccer specific MLS stadiums. Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York. New York's second MLS team has always been treated as such, until recently. Just look at this pathetic championship banner. Since their first year in the league in 2015, the expansion team has been shoehorned into Yankee Stadium, where the fit has been atrocious as it looks. As a baseball stadium, Yankee Stadium is fine. However, for soccer, well, yeah. Great news though, it was recently announced that New York FC should be getting a soccer-specific stadium in Queens with an expected opening in 2027. Good, because this arrangement isn't working for anyone. Soldier Field, Chicago, Illinois. If Yankee Stadium didn't exist as an MLS venue, this would be the worst one on the list. Maligned since it opened, new Soldier Field isn't even a good NFL venue. It was also a toy being fought over by former Mayor Beetlejuice and the Bears, who were 99,000% moving to Arlington Park someday. Even weirder, the Chicago Fire left soccer-specific SeatGeek Stadium to come here. My guess is that the Fire are getting major taxpayer-funded renovations and will make this older venue their permanent home. Still a pretty ugly stadium, for now anyways. Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. The MLS's almost newest team, Charlotte FC, is following in many of their predecessors' past by crashing in an old football stadium until they venture out onto their own. BOA Stadium is already nearly 30 years old and is aging as an NFL venue. Major changes had to be made just to accommodate the MLS since the pitch didn't properly fit inside. To me, this is just pretty average and substandard, already boring to begin with as a venue. Unfortunately, the playing surface was converted to field turf and natural grass isn't being used anymore, and there are no plans for a soccer-specific venue in Charlotte at this time. Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. The MLS's second longest standing stadium has served the revolution well, but it may be time for it to move on. Gillette was opened in 2002 and has been the home of MLS since. It's not a terrible soccer venue and was recently upgraded. However, talks of a soccer-specific stadium have been in the works since 2010. Finally, in 2023, land was set aside in Everett, Massachusetts that may be used by the Revolution, and renderings were shown to the team. Still not confirmed though, so maybe they'll stop jerking us around. Lumen Field, Seattle, Washington. Here's a shared space where the club likely has no intention of ever leaving. In the beginning of the Sounders' residency in Lumen Field, they were allowed to be there rent-free like Jacob Trouba in Pittsburgh Penguins fans' heads, so they aren't going anywhere. And as a soccer venue, this isn't bad at all. There's great sound, pun intended, amazing fans, and almost always a packed house. And they play many of their games in the beautiful summertime in the Pacific Northwest. So even though the space is shared with the NFL, this arrangement actually works. BC Place, Vancouver, British Columbia. So this is a great stadium whether it's shared or not. Home of the Vancouver Whitecaps, the most cocaine-iest team name ever, it's been an active MLS venue since 2011. Of course, it has an awesome fabric retractable roof system which was installed in the same season the MLS showed up. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. One of the best stadiums in the NFL is also the best non-soccer specific stadium in MLS. Opened in 2017, the same year as Atlanta FC's first season, Mercedes-Benz Arena has been a huge step forward in not only stadium engineering, but also fan experience. Along with a huge retractable metal sphincter for a roof and also massively opulent 360-degree video board, the stadium is one of the most connective and comfortable. The concessions are completely cashless to speed up the process. Yes, I do not want to be waiting behind a dad, fumbling for his money. The Atlanta United won the MLS Cup in their second year, proving further that God simply hates the Falcons. Now, soccer-specific stadiums. Providence Park, Portland, Oregon. The most elderly stadium in the league, Providence Park's first actual year was 1926. And that's really the only reason why I am scoring it at the low end of the soccer-specific stadiums. However, if we rated it on atmosphere, it would probably be number 1. It was also once a minor league baseball field, but was converted to soccer only in 2011, and in 2019, the East End stands were upgraded. However, it still retains much of the look and feel of the former baseball stadium and has a very asymmetrical layout. I still love the Timbers fans, as I was giving a supporter scarf when I played the Portland Pickles. In fact, right here, behind me. Dignity Health Sports Park, Carson, California. The second oldest stadium in MLS, Dignity Health Sports Park, was once invaded by the Los Angeles Chargers, who temporarily and awkwardly set up shop here until SoFi Stadium was built. It definitely looks its age, and though it was a pioneer in MLS-specific stadiums, it's one of the more outdated ones. I mean, having Dean Spanos as a roommate will do that to you, I guess. To me, it's very plain and has no character. Toyota Stadium, Frisco, Texas. A very odd Lego-type layout for this one. It just seems like we got a lot going on all at once. The south end stands look nice, but on the north end you have this giant stage canopy that doubles as an entranceway. Not hating on the functionality of the stage/roof, but it does look chintzy and out of place. Also, no roof on the east side stands is probably brutal in that hot Texas sun. Quick side note, this practice area is called Dr. Pink Field, and I'm hoping he was a gynecologist. America First Field, Sandy, Utah. This looks like a pretty standard soccer-specific venue. I like the curved roof structure, and it mimics a high-quality, small D1 football stadium. It does, however, have some great mountain views. America First, which sounds like a political movement or super PAC slush fund, is actually a credit union. Saputo Stadium, Montreal, Quebec. Saputo. Boy, if they were in Mexico. In the shadow of one of the weirdest, probably most underused stadiums of all time, Olympic Stadium, is Saputo Stadium, a pretty standard looking venue for Canada's third MLS team, CF Montreal. I'm sure it's a nice venue, but for me, I like stadiums to be symmetrical when the playing field is also symmetrical. Nothing really interesting about the place, but it looks clean. BMO Field, Toronto, Ontario. Now, BMO Field has an interesting story. It's a reverse soccer field in the fact that it's soccer specific, but they also house a football team, which is borrowing it from them, not the other way around. The Argos of the CFL used to play in the Sky Dome, but practically begged to play at nearby BMO Field, which is on the former site of Exhibition Stadium. Interesting fact, BMO is actually the 5th stadium to be built on this location. I do like the large roof structure as it has a Premier League feel. Chase Stadium, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This one also has an interesting story. It was opened in 2020 and is an interim venue for Inter Miami FC, as unless an expansion team comes to Fort Lauderdale, it will serve as a secondary venue for a lower club team and be abandoned by the MLS after only 5 years. Miami Freedom Park, aka the house that Messi built, is currently under construction and will feature all the bells and whistles you could possibly imagine, while Chase Stadium will be left like that one girl you settled for when you were born and lonely. Not even that hot. Not a bad stadium, new and clean, but not in the top soccer-specific class. Subaru Park, Chester, Philadelphia. It's wild that they put this stadium here geographically, as Chester is south of Philly in a very industrial area and not all that close to downtown or the existing stadium district. The area is so industrial that the parking lot at Subaru Park used to be a literal chemical dump. There's really not much around the stadium, which is nice and has great views like that of the Commodore Barry Bridge, but you don't want to get lost in certain parts of Chester. I'll tell you that. Dick's Sporting Goods Park, Commerce City, Colorado. At first glance, Dick's Sporting Goods Park looks like a weird configuration, but it's actually a well-architected stadium. The unique roof design is such to resemble the flow of a rapid, the name of the team that resides there. It's actually a really good Colorado Rapids. Like, that's pretty good. It's also the centerpiece of an outrageously large soccer complex on the outskirts of Denver. I'm really hoping that the locals refer to the stadium as the Dick. Hey, meet me at the Dick later. PayPal Park, San Jose, California. I think this stadium charges you unnecessary fees when you enter through the gates. That's a PayPal joke. The home of the San Jose Earthquakes, a name just tempting fate by the way, PayPal Park was opened in 2015. It's a pretty standard one-tier venue located literally right next to the San Jose airport. I like it clean and easy, just like your mom. Red Bull Arena, Harrison, New Jersey. A beautiful soccer-only venue with a tension fabric roof. The only thing wrong with this stadium is the fact that they are called the New York Red Bulls, when we know for damn sure this stadium is in New Jersey. Like way into New Jersey, not even close, on the other side of Hoboken. The stadium also has a permanent sensory room for fans or family members who have autism, and no extra ticket is required to access it. It's open to the public. I really like this one, and looks like a mini version of a top-flight Premier League stadium. City Park, St. Louis, Missouri. This is the MLS's newest venue, and it really is spectacular. Just all around clean with St. Louis style architecture that evokes that of the St. Louis Arch. I love these two open areas in the roof that let in natural sunlight to these concourses and entrance areas. Just smart. Also, no seat is farther away than 120 feet from the pitch, the closest in MLS, so the ref can definitely hear every fan cussing them out. Inter & Co Stadium, Orlando, Florida. Another extremely clean stadium. Inter & Co was 100% privately funded by Orlando SC. Early renderings had a rotating statue of a lion that would turn 180 degrees to face the pitch during games, but the statue was scrapped in the final delivery of the stadium. Another great venue. I love the theme colors and purple throughout, lots of character and very clearly team specific, how an MLS stadium should be. Lower.com Field, Columbus, Ohio. Seems like such a long time ago that the Anthony Precourt saga nearly moved the Columbus Crew to Austin. But now there is this beautiful stadium located minutes from downtown Cbus. What's really interesting is Lower.com is actually the second soccer-specific venue the Crew has played in, as they played in Mapfre Stadium from 1999 to 2021. I like this arena, a high seating slope angle and lots of luxury boxes. The team has a 30-year lease, so fuck Anthony Precourt, though the new owner is Jim Haslam. Shell Energy Stadium, Houston, Texas. A pioneering entry on this list, Shell Energy, aka Hell in the Shell, was part of the early aughts wave of high-end soccer-specific stadiums to enter MLS. The stadium is wrapped in a fabric facade that pays homage to the industrial district of East Downtown Houston. It was also built at a bargain price of only $95 million in 2012. Audi Field, Washington, D.C. The only stadium on this list named after a belly button. Audi Field is also the only one not rendered in Google Earth. Yo, update your polygons. It's been open for 6 years. Open in 2018, Audi was built in the Buzzard Point area, not far from where we used to buy weed in an area called 203. If you know, you know. A nice, clean stadium which has better facilities and turf than FedEx in Maryland, that garbage dump. Children's Mercy Park, Kansas City, Kansas. It's actually in Kansas, not Missouri. An MLS classic, Children's City's Mercy Park opened in 2011 and has been a top flight venue ever since. The intent of the stadium was to radically change what was previously thought of soccer stadium design, and I would say mission accomplished. The variable height sloped roof is meant to mimic that of the flight of a soccer ball, and the exterior is designed to evoke that of a soccer player's movement. With designated supporter stands, many concourse areas, and bars, this is an outstanding MLS venue. BMO Stadium, Los Angeles, California. Here's one where the stadium's asymmetry is intentional. The northeast stands are open so that the fans could see the Los Angeles skyline. Built in the shadow of the LA Coliseum, BMO, formerly Banc of California Stadium, I said Banc because they put a C on it, has a wonderful fabric roof structure and 34-degree angled seating, some of the steepest in MLS. The stadium also has a huge video board to show off many of their celebrity partial owners like Will Ferrell. Q2 Stadium, Austin, Texas. So instead of fucking over Columbus, Anthony Precourt got his wish to have an expansion team in Austin, and just like so often when two people who shouldn't have a child get preggers, the result is beautiful. I love the roof design as they look like airplane wings, and the themed exterior fits the aesthetic perfectly. Despite the stands being fully covered by a roof, the stadium is still open air, which is great for airflow on hot summer days, though it is still Texas, so it's gonna be hot. Geodis Park, Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville is upping their stadium game with the new dome being built for the Titans, but Geodis Park has set the standard. Open in 2022, this is one of the high-capacity venues in MLS with 30,000 seats and is the largest soccer-specific venue in North America. It wasn't met without controversies, as multiple lawsuits claim the stadium impeded the personal space of the nearby Nashville Fairgrounds and Speedway. I love the exterior architecture. The stadium is symmetrical, enclosed, and has plenty of entertainment spaces, the standard for new MLS stadiums. TQL Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. Great stadium. It looks like a scaled down version of an ultra-modern UEFA Class 4 venue, but fits the MLS perfectly in terms of capacity. Inspired by Allianz Arena in Germany, however, the design was modified to not have a fabric exterior, instead with vertical fins made out of metal that resemble ribbons. Bureaucratic red tape prevents the stadium from running ads on the exterior, and city residents have also hated on the year-round lighting scheme. However, the stadium is still amazing, definitely deserving of its high ranking. And finally, the best stadium in MLS, according to me, Stadium Guy. Allianz Field, St. Paul, Minnesota. If TQL was inspired by Allianz Stadium, then Allianz Field is just the miniature version. Kind of like those fake Eiffel Towers you see at amusement parks, but this stadium really pulls it off. With a nearly identical fabric exterior and roof canopy design, it also features the brilliant LED lighting display, which can be seen from the nearby highway. Clean sight lines, a great pitch, entertainment spaces, and supporters areas. One of the MLS newest stadiums just hits a home run, or scores a goal. Scores a goal. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, as this is my stadium specific channel. Until next time.